Hey, welcome to Ignite 2019 and our session. My name is Dana Kaufman, and I am a program manager lead in the Identity, Security, and Protection group. And my boss is in the front row, so I better not screw this up. So my team, specifically, I have program managers, I have data scientists, and we create identity protection systems to secure our users, right? So, and our user base covers both, for my team, and my team charter is both the consumer side, so Microsoft account, and enterprise side, so AAD. And you might be familiar with some of our handiwork on the AAD side. There's a product called Azure AD Identity Protection, and my team builds all the systems and detections that are part of that product.
Cool. And my name is Alex Esabov. I'm also a program manager on Microsoft Cloud App Security, which is Microsoft's CASB, or Cloud Access Security Broker solution. So as you can see from the title of this talk, today we're going to be talking about why these two solutions, when merged together, are so powerful. And just to make sure you're all awake before we do go ahead and get started showing you those various examples, I want to just get a sense in the room. How many of you are currently using Azure AD Identity Protection?
Oh, good.
Good number of hands.
Yeah.
That's awesome to see. What about a CASB in general? Okay, and keep your hands up if it's Microsoft Cloud App Security.
All right, we got to work on that.
Yep.
Cool. So I'm happy to tell you that today you're going to love this session. I think Alex and I think you're gonna see some demos. And for those that have never seen either of the products, we'll actually show you them live. And then for those that already have the products, we're gonna tell you about some new features that no one else has seen or knows about. Like, you guys are the first people to hear about the feature and actually see them. We'll show them. So we'll call that out.
Cool. So first, some late-breaking security news. So I think you've all probably seen this by now. We've made a pretty big splash about it. But Cloud App Security, our CASB solution, was recently determined by Gartner to be a leader, which we're all super excited about. Azure Active Directory, of course, and Azure Active Directory before it has always been a leader in identity, and they're building awesome security on top of that as well. And really, the reason that these two solutions are leaders is because of these integrations that we're going to show you. So we're super, super proud of those integrations, and we really want to bring them to life for you. So what we're going to show is 4 different examples of how these solutions integrate. And then specifically, we're going to dive into actual demos and bring those to life for you, showcasing those new features that Dana mentioned.
Cool. So why do we care about identity protection and CASBs and things like that? Well, traditionally in IT, 10 years ago, everything was contained in your organization within your firewall. Your devices were on-prem. Your users only logged in from those machines, and they access applications that were local right in your enterprise, right? And now in today's world, in the zero trust world, you have applications that are in the cloud and on-prem. You have users that are inside your corporate network or traveling or working from home. You have devices that are either corporate managed or bring your own device, so end users bring their own devices. And you have not only your internal networks, but you have these external networks, and some of them you don't know if you can trust, like a hotel Wi-Fi or your favorite coffee shop, right? So the key thing here is that in this zero trust world, identity is really your control plane. Identity is a place where you can leverage for security, for securing your cloud applications, right, in your cloud and hybrid environments. So why would you care about securing your environment? Well, I said I work in both consumer and enterprise. These are some of the things that keep me up at night when I think about identity-related attacks. We talk about things like password spray, breach replay, phishing attacks. I know that a lot of that is top of the minds of your organizations as well. Just some statistics to share with you from 2019. Since the beginning of 2019, we've detected about 27 million accounts that have been compromised, right, in the identity system, in the enterprise identity system. We've deflected with our protection and prevention systems, and our prevention system is important. We deflected the attacks, 30 billion attempted malicious sign-ins since the beginning of 2019. And just in October, last month, we saw about 900,000 high-risk authentication attempts. A lot of those correlate with phishing attacks, right? When the bad guy has the credentials, but they try to log in, and we detect those as malicious. So how do we help you protect your users? Well, we have 3 products that make up our identity protection suite in MTP. And that is Azure Active Directory and the features in Azure Active Directory, Azure Advanced Threat Protection, you'll hear it called Azure ATP, and then Microsoft Cloud App Security, or MCAS. So let's dig into, let's look at how these products interact. I'm going to start on the bottom of this chart. Azure ATP looks for on-prem threats in your AD infrastructure, right? It looks for things like pass the hash attacks. Azure AD and Azure AD Identity Protection is the next level. It looks at cloud identity-based attacks, so authentications, malicious authentications in the cloud. Now, if you notice on the right-hand side, there's this box called Active Directory Federation Services, or ADFS. How many of you are using ADFS? A good portion of them. So Azure ATP is on-prem. Identity protection, Azure AD in the cloud, right? But ADFS allows us to bridge the gap. So if you use the AD Connect Health features of AAD and ADFS, those logs go into the cloud, right? So when those authentications happen, what you're going to see over time is because you're sending your on-prem authentication logs into the cloud, you'll see us build detections on that, right? Part of the magic of ADFS is it has the ability to map an AD user into a cloud user, right? So AD, because when you log in an ADFS, you eventually end up in the cloud. And so there's a resolver that happens. So some of the work we're doing with Azure ATP is to share the resolver information. So now in the future, what you'll see is detections that go from on-prem into the cloud, and you'll be able to see that continuity and look for detections that happen or malicious activity that happens between them. So the next layer, so we talked about on-prem, we talked about cloud authentications. So the next layer that you worry about in a cloud environment is the application layer, right? And the workload layer. And that's where MCAS works, and that's where MCAS protects. So it looks for malicious activity that happens in the applications after authentication. We call that in-session detections, right? So this session and what we're going to present is going to talk about the top 2 layers. That's our concentration for today. So the first scenario we want to talk about in the first set of demos has to do with discovering of shadow IT and app management. Why do you care about shadow IT? Well, your end users are most likely trying to get to applications that you don't control, right? That you might not even know about. So you really need technology that can discover these applications that are not under management, because it opens up a whole new threat vector. Like if your users happen to be sharing files with with a third-party vendor through an external file share system, right? That might be an application that's not sanctioned by your organization. So MCAS, fortunately, has this robust discovery mechanism. They know about more than 16,000 cloud apps. They can track usage, top users, the IP addresses that are being used by these apps, and the devices. There's automated alerts when they detect new apps or anomalies in the application access. And brand new, just announced now, there's customized reporting through Azure Sentinel, which then you can put into Power BI, right? So you can get these robust reports of the cloud application that are discovered. Now, Alex was querying me yesterday, this blue box, this blue cloud showed up on top. He's like, where did this come from? And I said, I talked to a lot of customers, and most of them don't realize that if you're an AAD Premium 1, P1 customer, you can use MCAS Cloud App Discovery. It's part of the licensing, right? So that functionality you should go and try if you didn't know about it. Some of the other things that they do with the cloud app, with the apps they discover, is they understand the risks of those apps. So they do risk assessments based on greater than 20 attributes. And so they'll give you a risk score on those apps. And then they also look at the state of those apps and what kind of functionality they offer in terms of security. Do they match different regulatory rules or compliance or legal requirements, right? So they give you a nice report, and we'll go look at that in a minute. And then finally, they allow you to take actions. Now, this is new. We've never told anybody that this exists. You guys are the first people to see it. We just lit it up in the product. It's not even on any of the blogs, but we enabled single sign-in onboarding from discovered apps in MCAS into AAD, and we'll show you that in a minute. So now that's actually in the MCAS product. We also have, the MCAS also can sanction or unsanction apps, so they can remove usage or allow usage of it. They can leverage Windows Defender to natively block those application access. And we're going to talk a little more about the Windows Defender integration in a minute. I'm going to actually show it to you. And then MCAS can also block native apps with secure web gateways. So let's go look at a demo. Here I'm going to show you the Cloud App Discovery pieces and how this new one-click provisioning works. So we up? Yeah, cool. So this is the MCAS dashboard if you guys haven't seen it. And I'm going to go into Cloud App Discovery. And then I'm going to filter the reports. So I click here, and I'm going to pick Windows 10 endpoint users. So what MCAS does is it pulls data from the Windows Defender endpoints of the applications that Windows Defender observes and then shows it to you. So if you're using Windows Defender, which is part of the MTP suite, or Microsoft ATP, you can automatically get the reports in the MCAS. So we're going to go look for discovered applications. And you can see there's a bunch of apps that it found about. Here's Skype, for instance. So we'll click on this. And you can see that it shows me how much data is being pulled in to and from the application, how many users, how many IPs, all this different usage statistics up here. And then I can see the classification or how it generated the risk score. So now in this scenario, I know one of our employees mentioned that they were using Dropbox with an external provider, and I did a little snooping around and noticed, sorry, wrong drop down. And I noticed that a lot of other users were using it. So here we have 821 users and almost 1,500 IP addresses. It has a score of 9, so let's see why it's not a 10. So if we look at the security, Dropbox is good because they do things like trusted certificates and HTTP headers, but they're missing IP address restrictions. They also have some compliance support, which is great. They support SOX and Safe Harbor. They don't support GAP, but that might not be important for my organization. And I also can see they're GDPR compliant too, so that's great. So now let me go and make it so I can do single sign-on through AAD. So the way I do this, and this is the new functionality, I go over here, and this new menu option, which is Manage App with Azure AD. So when I click on this, it'll automatically configure the application. It'll start the wizard. So now we're in the AAD, and all we have to do is complete this, and then the app is then under management. Now, notice that it said IP restrictions are not supported in Dropbox, but because we configure SSO in AAD, we can use conditional access to limit the IP addresses that the application can be used from.
Okay, so that was a great example of showing how Azure Active Directory, Cloud App Security work together for the first phase of what you would do for app management. You would discover what's risky. You might block the risky apps. The apps you want to manage more closely, like Dropbox, then you can take into Azure AD. And that subsequently enables all sorts of powerful scenarios. So the second scenario we're going to jump into is what you can do once an application is managed with Azure Active Directory. And in this case, we'll focus specifically on granular and adaptive real-time controls. So I think everybody in the room probably knows what conditional access is. I'll just spend 30 seconds on this slide. just talking about how this really is a really powerful sort of if-then statement that enables all sorts of different controls based on the inherent risk of the session. So we have a bunch of inputs. Dana mentioned in the beginning of the presentation that everything is dynamic now. Risk can change based on who the user is, what resource they're accessing, which device they're coming from, are they coming from public Wi-Fi, and a lot more information like that. Then we've got these brains. We have 171 terabytes of data flowing into our risk calculations that the identity protection portal is then analyzing. Let's stop and think about that number for a second. 171 terabytes of data, that's over 17 times the amount of data that's stored in the Library of Congress. So that's an amazing amount of data that we can use to then evolve and perfect this risk score so that we can dynamically tailor the actions that we're taking. So then finally, we know the inputs, and now we're taking some kind of outputs. So we calculate the session risk, and we say, okay, if the session's not risky, then maybe we let the user in. If it is risky, we might want to require them to prove they are who they say they are with multi-factor authentication. Maybe what we want to do is actually kick the session back to Cloud App Security, which is the example we're going to show you, and let them in, but limit what they're able to do. So for example, I might be able to block granular actions like block upload, block download, but let the user read the documents as they exist inside of the cloud application. So specifically, the example we're going to show here is that kicking back to Cloud App Security to restrict actions. We're going to use Power BI as the example here, because if you've been in any of their sessions, you know there's a bunch of powerful new security that Power BI has implemented, leveraging Microsoft Information Protection and Cloud App Security. But really, you can put any web application that's managed with Azure AD into that box that currently says Power BI, and this scenario is relevant. So specifically, we're going to show in this case is ensuring that sensitive Power BI reports are appropriately labeled before they're uploaded to the cloud. So if that data leaks for any reason, malicious users internally, for example, I know that it's protected, it's got the right labels. So I'll switch back to presentation mode. And here, now we're going to go into Power BI as an end user. And my name is Sylvia, and I'm accessing this report called Customer Profitability Sample. You can see that I'm in Power BI, but if you look at the URL, you can see it's actually rewritten. It's powerbi.com.us2casms. That's an indication that Cloud App Security is actually proxying the session when Azure Active Directory redirected to Cloud App Security at the time of authentication. So now, for the end user, the experience is exactly the same. They can go parse all their reports. They can be productive, do what they need to do, but we can restrict certain actions. So in this example, I want to upload a new data set, but I forgot to label that data set. So when I go over here to upload this data set, and I choose this financial sample, and for the purposes of the demo, I clearly indicated to you guys it was unlabeled, and I try to upload that document, Cloud App Security is going to scan that document, the metadata, and we immediately see, hey, that report hasn't been appropriately labeled. So we educate the end user. The text is a bit small, but you can see it says, hey, this file might be sensitive. Please add a label and re-upload. Contact your administrator for more questions. So another great example of how these two products are working together to deliver a coherent solution for the end user that lets them be productive, but also secure.
All right, so next scenario we're going to talk about is real-time risk and threat analysis. So we're happy to announce earlier this week that Azure AD Identity Protection Refresh GA'd, right? So some of you might have seen the announcement. This new version of Identity Protection offers a modern UX. It shows you trends in your traffic for detections. It has integration with different Microsoft products. Other security products, the MCAS integration we're going to show you, that's part of it. It has more powerful APIs than the previous version to allow you to check user and session authentication risk through the APIs. It has more accurate detections, and it's ready to go into Azure Sentinel. It's basically in Sentinel, one click to enable the feed from the threats from Azure AD Identity Protection into Sentinel. Part of that, we're continuously working on our detections and improving them. We made a 30% precision increase and 100% catch rate improvement in the real-time detections as part of this refresh wave, and that's in the real-time risk assessment. On the right, you see a tweet right after we started phasing it in July, and one of our customers noticed that his traffic pattern shifted and that the detections were much more accurate. So he sent out a tweet to us. We also have, as part of it, added a new machine learning system that computes user risk. It's trained with thousands and thousands, as Alex mentioned, 171 terabytes of data to try to calculate the risk of users being compromised. Now, immediately following this session, in this room, one of my PMs, Rajat Luthra, and one of my data scientists, Maria Portis Calvo, and we also have a customer, they're going to deep dive into this refresh, and they're going to talk about like the specific detections and what we actually improved. So I recommend you stay in this room for after this session and go to the next one to get a deep dive into these improvements and the data science behind the detections. So we, as part of the refresh, we also released a number of new detections. Here I want to highlight a couple of them that will end up being, that'll GA by the end of the year timeframe, which is MCAS detections integrated in identity protection user risk. So the first two we're going to do, this is a process, so there'll be more of them over time that you'll see. But the first two we integrated were impossible travel, which is suspicious activities to untravelable locations, right? If you log in from one place and then you log in from someplace you could never get to in that time frame, then MCAS flags you and feeds it back to us. That's specifically if, you know, the value add there is we only see in Azure AD the authentications that happen to Azure AD. They're looking at the access tokens in the application and impossible travel there. So the two of them combined, really powerful signal. Also suspicious inbox manipulation. So if the bad actor goes into Exchange and does some activity there, MCAS will notify us that, hey, we think this user's compromised. We'll factor that in the risk. All right, some new things we've never showed anybody or talked about. We're currently in private preview of Azure AD Identity Protection user risk in conditional access. Right? Now, what does that mean? Well, we're going to officially support user risk as a condition in conditional access, which means you can have multiple policies, multiple user risk policies. In the original version of identity protection, you can only have one risk policy. But here, by supporting multiple risk policies, you can do really complex things. You can say, like, if it's medium risk, send the user to MCAS and have it audit all the activities that happen in the application. But if it's high risk with a separate policy, you can say force a secure password change, right? So you can have multiple risk policies and multiple conditions with this new functionality. And we're going to show that to you. We also announced earlier this week conditional access report-only mode, which is very popular with our customers. But that also supports the MCAS proxying from CA, from conditional access. So you can put your CA MCAS risk policies, conditional access policies in report-only mode and then look at what would happen to that user if when the authentication happened and what CA policy would have done. And then lastly, and I took this from Joy Chick's keynote. I feel like this is like an infomercial, but she said, customers who use Azure Active Directory Identity Protection and Conditional Access have a 96% decrease in account compromise, right? But yet there's more. So you really should be hopefully using this product and MCAS. So Alex, you want to talk a little more about, we talked about the impossible travel and the suspicious forwarding. What other things might we see in MCAS that do in-session detection?
Yeah, so Dana showed a really cool slide towards the beginning of this presentation that showed how Azure Advanced Threat Protection was about on-prem identities. Azure AD took it to the cloud, and Cloud App Security looked at your cloud applications. I just want to emphasize Dana's last slide is super powerful. It shows a lot of the cool integrations that we're starting to do, but I want to emphasize sort of all the various detections that we have across these products. So in this case, I'll show you Cloud App Security specifically, just to give you a sense of the order of magnitude and where we're going to go with continuing to integrate these signals. So in Cloud App Security today, you've got threat delivery and persistence. I'm not going to go through each of the individual alerts, but just show you the types of anomalies that we're looking at. You can have many indications of a compromised risk or a compromised session, malicious end usage of an account, and malicious usage of a privileged account. And sort of what's so awesome about this is that we're looking across your app ecosystem. So if we see that a user commits something in one application, we've also got visibility into that user's other accounts in other applications. And you'll see examples of this come to life in the next couple of demos that we're going to do. So on that note, I want to jump right into showcasing some of the cool stuff that Dana was talking about earlier. So we're going to show this third demo. And specifically, we're going to show how we can block sensitive in-session actions in AWS for medium risk users. So we're going to show how that conditional access policy now integrates with user risk score. When I showed the last example with Power BI, I focused on the end user experience because I didn't want to show multiple different conditional access policies. Here, I'm going to show you the admin experience first because this is that new bit where we can actually integrate the user risk. So you've all probably seen conditional access before. I know this screen is a bit small, but I'll walk you through what we're setting up here. So first, we're doing those assignments, those conditions, and then we'll choose the trigger that we actually want to apply. So in the conditions, we're going to choose to apply this to all users if their risk is high. So under users and groups, we specify all users. For cloud applications, we're specifying all cloud apps. And then in the conditions section, you'll see user risk is now integrated here. So if I zoom in, you can see that, hey, we chose here to configure to apply this policy to all users and all apps only if that user has medium risk. And now we're actually going to define what we're going to do, which in this case, we've got this yet another integration between Azure AD and Conditional Access, App Control, the Cloud App Security Proxy, is that you can actually choose the policies here. Specifically, you can say, use that Conditional Access App Control feature and do things like block downloads. And then what this enables is when a user comes into a session with medium risk, we can apply those additional controls in the session.
Alex,
oh no.
Alex. It's not evil, Dana. Evil is too widely used. It's nefarious D. And what happened, and I came from the mirror universe. Some of you guys might get that sci-fi reference, right? What I did, Alex, I'm so excited. I did this password spray. And I got this account called Aldo. I think Aldo is an admin. And the company's using multi-cloud. So let's try to break in and see if I can get their storage. So I'm gonna click here. I'm in the account. Look at this. It's an S3 storage bucket. I'm gonna download this. Set my session time down. So I'm gonna log in again. Good thing we have single sign-on. See, it works. All right, so we're S3. I'm really excited. We're gonna have if I can get into my storage bucket here or Aldo's, I'm gonna try to download it. Oh, but wait, what is this? It was blocked. How did I get blocked?
Based on that conditional access policy. Now go sit back down.
Rats.
So that was the third demo that showed, hey, we can apply these conditions selectively based on user risk. We're going to keep going with that story and emphasize how we can continue to monitor that user as their risk might evolve since the account is compromised. And you'll see what happens when the user now moves to high risk. In addition to that, we're going to also emphasize the automated remediations that we can take. Your admins are busy. You can't go manually dissect every single alert. You need these tools to help you. So we're going to emphasize how we can do that. So specifically, what we're going to show is how these tools work for you, in this case, to do 3 different things. So we're going to show automatically remediating compromised user risk with a conditional access policy for a high-risk user that forces a password reset, as well as, of course, MFAing before that password reset. And that's part of the identity protection, and it's integrated specifically into conditional access in Azure AD. Then we're going to show how you can automatically remediate security issues in the cloud with Cloud App Security. We'll specifically focus on remediating what would have happened if that S3 bucket had stayed public. I don't know if any of you noticed, but that bucket was actually exposed to the world, so it was publicly available. And then finally, we'll show you how we integrate with source solutions like Microsoft Flow. There's a really cool integration between Cloud App Security and Microsoft Flow to make sure that you can be productive and put your alerts exactly where they're most digestible for you. So with that, I'll jump right into Demo 4. And I'll start with the admin experience. So here we've got the identity protection portal that Dana was talking about that just went GA. And this is a super powerful place to look at your users, look at their risks, look at the various detections that we flagged for those users. And so here I'm going to click on this graph where I can see new risky users detected. And remember, Evil Dana, or I don't even remember what his name was, the account that he was compromising was a guy named Aldo. So I'm going to find this Aldo guy, and you see that his risk level has actually moved to high at this point. So before, when we went to AWS, his risk level was medium, which is why we blocked download. Now we're going to take more actions. But first, we're going to understand why he moved to high. So as Dana pointed out, you can see that Aldo was a global administrator. So this account is super sensitive. If it gets into the wrong hands, it's dangerous. And we're going to actually take a look at the user's risk detections. And here we're going to see a list of all the various detections that we found for Aldo. And you'll see some unfamiliar sign-in properties. You'll see anonymous IP address. But at the bottom, you'll also see two new risks. That's the suspicious inbox forwarding and the impossible travel. Dana mentioned earlier that these are now integrated between Cloud App Security and Azure AD Identity Protection. So we actually feed those signals into the user risk calculation. So I can open up this suspicious inbox forwarding rule, and you can actually see that source is Microsoft Cloud App Security.
Alex, I got this great new scheme.
Oh my God, he's back.
When I got into that account, I put this forwarding rule into Exchange, and I was looking through the emails, and I found that they had all this great information stored in Azure. So I'm going to log into the portal, and what I'm going to do is extract it all, and I'm going to sell it on the dark web and throw a party for all these people, right? It's going to be awesome. So let me log in to Azure. Wait, what happened? Did someone enter a CA policy that stopped me? Now I have to do MFA.
That's exactly what happened. We had a high-risk policy that said, hey, for those users, we have to reset the password and require MFA, and you don't have Aldo's phone. So.
All right, guys, the party's on hold. I'll get back to you on this.
Yeah, go sit back down again. So I'll show you that conditional access policy that just triggered. It's very similar to the last one, but this time in the conditions section, under user risk, as you can guess, now we're looking at high-risk users. And the action that we're taking specifically, like I just mentioned, we're going to let the user in, but only if they can actually pass multi-factor auth and reset their password subsequently. So again, we were able to stop Aldo, or Nefarious D, who was posing as Aldo, from being able to get into the session and wreak more havoc. Now,
ruin my party.
And ruin all of your parties. Sorry about that. Now, we showed you one very important thing, which was stopping this malicious actor that was posing as Aldo. But other damage could have been done as well. So, for example, that S3 bucket that was made publicly available, and that suspicious inbox forwarding rule that was set up. Once Aldo has been, once we've stopped this malicious user, that data could still be exfiltrating in the form of emails that have been set up that are forwarding to this user's personal accounts, or that S3 bucket that no longer needs authentication from Aldo, anybody can get to it. So this is where I'll showcase the integration between Microsoft Flow and Cloud App Security. So what I had in the meantime set up was this team channel with these SOC alerts. And this flow that I sent says, hey, this user created a suspicious inbox forwarding rule. Please investigate it. If I'm an admin, then I'm able to correlate this user ID with the actual users in my tenant. And I can go in and see, hey, I need to go remediate the suspicious inbox forwarding rule. And this comes to Teams in this case. Now, if you use Microsoft Flow, you know that we can integrate with ServiceNow. Flow can integrate with pretty much any product on the market today. So you can make sure that these alerts are handled in a way that's manageable for you and that you can act as soon as you see these kind of risks. The other thing that I'll show you is a policy in Cloud App Security that can then remediate what we saw in AWS. So that publicly available S3 bucket, we have a policy specifically for that, where we look for publicly available S3 buckets with an API connector to AWS. And then as soon as we see that there's an S3 bucket that's publicly available, we can create an alert for the admin, but we can actually also take governance actions to go ahead and make that bucket private. So this is super powerful because in addition to making sure that we automate the remediation of that user's account, we can also automate remediation of any damage that might have been done by that user, by these products working together.
Alex, there was this flash, and I ran into this, I'll call him crazy mad Alex. He kept asking me to disable my conditional access risk policies for some reason. I don't know. Anyways, hey, we've had fun. We talked a lot about security, identity protection. We know we want to get you guys out, and so you can get ready in a couple hours to go to have a real party at Universal Studio. But in the meantime, let's talk about a little more serious stuff. We want you guys to use these products and protect your users. So we put together a list of things that you should go do immediately and follow-ups after you leave the conference. So immediately, you should go into Azure AD Identity Protection and enable it, or if you already have enabled it, go look at your reports and go look for high-risk users and risky sessions, and so you can see what's going on in your tenant. I see some of you on your laptops now. Good job. Also, we want you to go into MCAS and generate a shadow IT report, discovery report, so you can see what applications are being used in your organization that you did not know about. And remember, if you're AD P1, go use it, right? It's part of your license. So that's one. So do that now before you go to Universal tonight. Next, when you get back to the office, we want you to block legacy off, because all the stuff we showed you, if legacy auth is not blocked, it's not going to help you. Remember, you can't do things like trigger MFA on legacy auth. If you went to the shut to the door on cybercrime talk that happened yesterday, they said approximately 100% of all brute force attacks happen on legacy auth. What does that tell you and tell me? Shouldn't be using legacy auth, right? Move to modern auth. We also want you to go and enable user risk policies that do secure password reset on high-risk users. The reason we have you start there is you don't have usually a lot of high-risk users in your tenant, and users don't go to high risk all that often, right? So it's usually it's a minimal impact policy. Later today, there's going to be a session on how Microsoft ourselves, we have one of the biggest IT organizations in the world, we use this technology, and they're going to talk about, Sarah Handler is one of my PMs, and Caleb Baker, who is the Conditional Access, he's on the Conditional Access team. They're going to talk about how Microsoft rolled this stuff out, and they started with the user risk policy to actually, they actually blocked on high risk. So it's minimal impact, and it's something that you should go look at enabling. Also, for MCAS, we want you to start enabling the app connector so you can see what malicious activity Nefarious D and his friends are doing in your workloads, in Office 365, AWS, and other connectors that they have, right? So go and get that visibility. And then soon, Alex, I had like 2 weeks, and Alex told me it was too aggressive. So I put it as soon, but I want you to do it in 2 weeks. I want you to enable session risk policies that MFA challenge on medium risk, and I want you to enable CA access to block data exfiltration. So start labeling your data and making sure that MCAS can block those risky data extracts. And lastly, I put it at the bottom of the screen. Everybody should be using MFA. I saw Alex wearing this. Your password is terrible, right? Your password is terrible. Use MFA. So go to aka.ms.enable.mfa and read about how you can use MFA like the Azure AD Identity Protection CA risk policies to leverage MFA. So in summary, we say Identity Access Manager and CASB solutions, they go together. They offer this protection that you can't get if there's no integration, right? The two of them have to work together to light up these scenarios. I joke about it and I say AAD hearts MCAS or MCAS loves AAD. Coincidentally, our booths are right next to each other down on the floor. So we do kind of like each other. I don't know if it would be love or...
Love.
Okay. And so some of the things that we can do together is do the discovery of shadow IT and app management. We can allow you to do granular and adaptive real-time controls so you can block actions as they happen that are risky for the users. We can also do session risk and prevent things that happen in session using conditional access and MCAS policies together. And then we showed lastly the automatic remediation. Why is automatic remediation important? There's only a few of you and a lot of attacks, right? Let the system automatically remediate the user or the damage and free you up to go investigate what happened, right? You shouldn't have you shouldn't have to worry about that minutia of getting the user back in the good state, right? Let the automation do that. And as you can see with all the security products that we have, Microsoft's in a unique position to offer you all this powerful technology and protection systems. In the session that's happening after this, one of our customers who uses identity protection is going to come up and tell you how they leverage the whole E5 suite for protection. It's a really powerful story. And then you can go in, we have links to our blogs so you can read about everything that we announced in AAD for Ignite at this aka.ms link, and also the MCAS announcements. But we gave you guys a sneak peek of a couple things that aren't announced. So you guys are the first ones that saw it, like the CA user risk policy and the one-stop SSO provisioning from MCAS into AAD, right? And I told you about the sessions. There's 3 MCAS sessions that already happen, so you should go and look at those, but go to the Ignite portal and then go and look at the recordings of those sessions. And then I mentioned the 2 sessions that are happening this afternoon on Azure AD Identity Protection, and MCAS will be covered in some of them. The science of Azure AD and Identity Protection, I highly recommend that. I'll be at that session. And then the one later today, I'll also be at. It's a great way to wrap up your day and head out to Universal by going and learning about more identity protection, right? And then lastly, Alex and I will answer questions now up here real quick. We're going to go to the booth. I'm going to come back here for the next session, and then we'll be back in the booth all afternoon. Both of us will be in our respective booths waving at each other across the hallway. So.
Yeah, so in the interest of time, we'll take questions up here if you have them. And I'm just going to make one plea for you guys. This is the 2nd annual series we're doing of this talk, and we keep updating with new features. And we would love to hear your reviews about what you liked, what you didn't like, so that next year when we do the 3rd iteration, it's tailored to exactly what you want to see. Thank you.